I don't even know where to start. I've been attempting to make this video for the past year and a half because for those of you who don't know, which is probably a lot, I get like 3 viewers average and like 3 viewers on my stream average, but about a year and a half ago, I think maybe a little more at this point, I completed Hollow Knight for the first time, and I have been meaning to make this review on it forever. Like I had a script dating back to literally the day after I beat it. I had a script of this video before Silksong was even announced, which is how long ago it was. Like I've been trying to do this because I literally finished Hollow Knight, and then like 4 months later, they announced that boom, Silksong's releasing in 2025, which was crazy. So yeah, this video's been a long time coming. I haven't really just had the time to film or record this, which sucks because this is something I've been really excited to do about. I really wanted to review games that I've played on stream and completed on stream or in my own time, because I think that's fun. That's cool. It's cool. You know, give me a reason to stream a lot of games I have been meaning to get off my back catalog, and it gives me, so like, it just adds purpose to that. And it gives me motivation to like do stuff. So I've been trying to do this for a while, but I just haven't had the time, and it kills me because I've really been wanting to make this forever. But here we are. I'm recording this. If this gets uploaded, that means I didn't delete everything and destroy the footage for the 5th time that I've been doing this. But yeah, for as I mentioned like 5 seconds ago, about a year and a half, I streamed the entirety of Hollow Knight, and I have some thoughts because, you know, as a gamer, I hear all the time that I'm so cringe for saying as a gamer. Okay, ignore that. But, you know, I've been hearing all over, like everywhere, Twitter, YouTube videos, anyone who's ever played Hollow Knight will say that it's one of the greatest Metroidvanias ever made. And as a big fan of Metroidvanias, though I didn't always start out that way, that piqued my curiosity because, I mean, this is a game that released in like 2017, I believe, for the first time, and I've heard nothing but the highest of praises about this game. How it's the best Metroidvania. It's one of the greatest games ever made, hands down. It's like a lot of people I know, it was their favorite game. It is their favorite game, and I was always intrigued by that because for the first couple of times I attempted to play this game, I put the game down. I never completed it. I got about a few hours in and immediately was just not vibing with the game, and that was concerning to me because everyone who I've seen talk about this game said it just gripped them from the second they played. Like it immediately just enthralled them into play more, and I was not getting that feeling whatsoever when it came to this game. I think before I did the stream and fully completed the game, I think the furthest attempt I had made it was to like the main, I think it was like the underground waterway, which is, you can get there very early on if you have a key, and I just wasn't vibing with the game. It just wasn't clicking with me like it appeared to click with everyone else, which was very concerning because everyone was saying this was the greatest game of all time. I literally went into this expecting it to blow my fucking socks off and take my virginity, bro. Like that's what I was expecting when I first booted up the game, and it just wasn't happening. I mentioned earlier that I love Metroidvanias, but I want to give some context to that because I wasn't always like this. In fact, Metroidvanias used to be my least favorite type of game, and I don't know why. As a dumb little kid, I didn't like how open everything was. There was no direction. I didn't know what to do, and often I was getting lost, and this was an issue for me. I couldn't overcome this for the longest time. My dad's a big Metroid fan, so I played Super Metroid at a young age, and I didn't like it. I genuinely was such a loser little baby, dumb little baby, that I literally got lost within the first 10 minutes and just gave up on the game. And for the longest time, I let that taint my view of Metroidvanias because they were too confusing for me. I was too much of an idiot to play and enjoy them. So for the longest time, I hated them. And I don't remember what changed that exactly. But later on in my adult years, where I wasn't such of a loser baby who got lost every 5 seconds in video games and needed hand holding, because I was a dumb baby. I tried the genre again and fell in love, and it's history from there. I have gone back and played every single Metroidvania, Castlevania game. I've gone back and played all the Metroids except for 1 and 2. Well, I've played a little bit of 2, but not a big fan of 1, just personally. But I've branched out to other Metroidvanias. I've played a fuck ton of games in this genre, and I have fallen in love, and it's become easily top 3 genres of all time. And still, with this mindset, I went into Hollow Knight loving Metroidvanias, and it just didn't. I don't know what about the game didn't click with me, but it didn't. Now, before I go into my in-depth thoughts about the game itself, I want to talk about the people behind the game, as famously they are known as Team Cherry, and I believe at during the making of Hollow Knight, it only consisted of 3 people, which are Ari Gibson, William Pellin, and the music composer Christopher Larkin. And I apologize if I messed up any of anybody's names. Like I did the bare minimum research and just researched like the people behind it. But that's 3 people. That's 3 people behind one of the most critically acclaimed video games, like, of the most modern times. And that's truly remarkable. Like, my personal feelings aside, despite the fact that, spoiler, I do like the game. All with everything said, I do like the game. But that aside, 3 people making this game is truly remarkable. Like, I have to give time to just shout out those people, because if me and like 3 of my friends decided to do something, the best we could do is like a 5-second long stick figure animation. Like that's truly inspiring. The fact that 3 people put so much work and sweat and every time into a project like this and have it pay off so well. Like, props to them. I have to give them props, because that's truly like that's inspiring. That's amazing. I wish for them many successful endeavors in their future products. Now, on to my thoughts about the game, because I have a lot of thoughts, and as per usual of my videos, there is no script. I am fully speaking out of my ass right now, so I apologize if they're jumbled. I mean, I have to do a lot of editing behind the scenes. There's a lot of pausing in my audio files that I have to cut, because it's just me sitting there for 5 minutes trying to think of what I wanted to say next. So I guess let me start off with everything I love about this game, because, spoiler alert, there's a lot of things I love, and there's just a lot of little nitpicks that I have that make me want to love this game more. And that's the best way I can describe my relationship with Hollow Knight, is that it's a game I wanted to like more, even though I like it very much. First and foremost, this game looks gorgeous. Holy cow. The art style for this game is absolutely incredible. It's one of the best things. It's one of the things I compliment most about Team Cherry's games. Like, both of this, I mean, they only have like 2, but the Hollow Knight and both Silk Song, their art style is absolutely breathtaking. Some of my favorite art direction in games, the backgrounds, the characters, the animations, absolutely beautiful, and something I will always sing the praises of when it comes to this game, because holy cow, I think this game looks beautiful. Everything looks smooth. All the animations are smooth. Every now and then you'll get a little cutscene, and I think the art style for the cutscenes is like matching, very like grim tone, and like aesthetic wise, like you feel like you're in a kingdom that's been ruined. And I cannot sing praises enough to this art direction. This art direction is magnificent, and I love it very much. Another big compliment, of course, will go towards the boss fights. I mean, of course, everyone talks about how good the boss fights are in this game, and I have to agree. There is so many good ones, and while in my initial streams I didn't get the full ending where you fight the Radiants, I went back and played this game on my own, because my chat has informed me that I missed a lot about the game. I missed the true ending with the Radiants. I missed the the B area, which I didn't even know there was a B area. So I went back and did all those, and some of these boss fights are absolutely incredible. Like with the Mantis Lords, the Radiance, there's a lot of standout ones I just absolutely loved. I don't think there was a single boss fight that truly irked me. Which is surprising because I don't know. Because of one of my spoilers, actually I'll get into it later, but there's just not a lot of boss fights here that I didn't like off the top of my head. I mean, I think the False Knight is a little boring, but that's because he's literally the first fight, but just compared to every other boss, he's a little lackluster, which is understandable as he literally is the first guy you fight. But all the other boss fights were fun. I loved them. And I think everyone talks about that. Yeah, the boss fights are absolutely amazing. This game can be very difficult at times, but as an avid Souls player myself, I don't mind difficulty in my video games, so I thoroughly enjoyed the challenge that these individuals brought to my game. But yes, that's another big compliment I have for this game. I also very much enjoyed the way this game tells its story, as it's not in your face. I have found that I'm more into games that have a story, but it's not at the forefront of the game. Like all the Souls games, Dark Souls, like all of those games have a story, but it's more of a background thing. And Hollow Knight is very similar in that aspect, as this game has like a story. There's characters you interact with. There's cutscenes, there's stuff you're supposed to do, but all like the lore, all the juicy bits are not directly told to you. You have to piece them together yourself, and I think that makes for a cool experience. As what kept me coming back was I wanted to see more about the lore, all the interesting background stuff, all the interesting locales with you can just ooze with deep, rich history was very intriguing to me, and I think that's cool. I think, afterwards I'd look up like if I couldn't piece everything together myself, because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Sometimes I need a little help. So sometimes I would watch lore videos. These lore videos span like hours, bro. These things can reach long lengths in terms of like how much stuff there is, and I missed a lot of stuff. There's so much background hints and clues that I couldn't piece together, but that's cool. I like that. That's a cool. I think that's a cool way of telling your story. It's not directly at the player, but everything is given to the player for them to figure out. And got to give props to that, because I thoroughly enjoy games that do that. And I think the story and lore that Team Cherry cooked up is really cool. Like that's some cool shit right there. And for the sake of this video, I apologize, but I would not attempt to memorize the lore in any way, because this video could turn into, I think I'm probably aiming for like maybe a 20-minute video. This video could easily reach over an hour if I break down the lore, the characters, all their backgrounds. So I apologize, but this is not the video for that. There's plenty of great videos on the internet that do that though, so I recommend checking them out, because this lore is awesome. I think the characters are cool, and a bunch of little symbolism you can find throughout the game. That's always nice. Now on to the next part of the video, which will probably be more controversial, as that's most of my little nitpicks and complaints that personally don't even make a lot of sense to myself. It's just I just didn't vibe with it in the game. But I guess first I'm want to talk about the combat, as the combat in the game is very simple, as you usually just attack and jump to avoid. There's no dodge, there's no parry, but you do get some spells you could use, which I never really found myself using too often unless it was required, or it was the down ground pound, because it gives you iframes. And I have to give a big shout out to chat for informing me of that, because I would have never known, and probably would have hated this game a lot more if that little probably very intentional game detail wasn't pointed out to me, because I never used the spells that often unless, as stated, like I just said, were required, because I don't know, they used like your little white fluid. I don't know what the name of it is, the little white fluid in your mask, which I often saved for health, because even though I play a lot of difficult games, I never stated I was very good at them. So I would take damage a lot, and I'd rather have a heal than a little spell, like little fucking beam I could shoot out. So that is just personally how I play. And The only reason I bring up combat in this game is because I think Holland, like I think Silk Song just improves upon everything I had a complaint about, because like in this game there are little pins you can attach to yourself at a what's it called, a bench. That's what they are. Yeah, the bench, those save points. That's how you save your game. But you can also, like when you're sitting on them, you can open up and attach little trinkets to yourself. And I also never really used these. I know everyone talks about how awesome this mechanic is, but I never found myself using it. I've never won for min-maxing in games. Like I don't know, a lot of people like know in and out what trinket to get first to make your journey a lot easier. Like a lot like experienced game, like people who play this game know the ins and outs and every location of all the best little pins and trinkets that will give you, because they give you small little buffs. I think I failed to mention that, but they'll give you small little buffs or something. They'll add something to your character that'll help you out. And I don't know if maybe I just didn't find all the good ones or didn't try hard enough, but I don't know. I found them very superficial and didn't really jive with them. I mean, a lot of like, I like when you fight like the Grim Troop, I like the one that gives you a little bug that shoots out things. That's cool. But apart from like that, and I can't really name any other off the top of my head. I apologize. Probably should have done a little more. Probably should have booted up the game a little bit before writing this, but as it has been a while since I've last played it. But I just never really found myself using this game mechanic, and I apologize because I know a lot of people love this mechanic. It's just for me. Like I don't hate it. It's there. It's cool. I wish I was better at it. Like a lot of these complaints are going to sound like a skill issue, and I apologize for that. These are just personal like I said, this is at the end of the day, this is my personal feelings toward this game, and please don't attack me for that. I know my feelings are stupid and weird, okay? Everyone tells me, but you don't have to. I don't even know, because like I don't even understand why I didn't like it as much in this game, because I like the mechanic, like the same thing in Silk Song, because like I just I can't explain it. I just can't explain it. But I think in terms of this game, something I always talk about and complain about, my biggest issue in this game, and what took me literally like 5 years to beat it, is the map system and the world design. Now, before like 30 people click off this video, let me clarify. I don't think the world looks bad. I don't think everything is like I said, art design's beautiful. All the worlds are cool. I think the locations are awesome. They're easily distinct from one another. They're very recognizable. I think like that's not my complaint. I just don't personally really like the way this game handles its map system. I don't like how an area is like blacked out on your map until you find the map man. And this really bothers me so much, and I can't explain why. Like I think it's very tedious for the sake of being tedious. Like I hate when I find a new area and have no fucking idea where I'm going. I can hear the map man singing, humming, doing his little fucking cartography in the corner, and then there will be a wall blocking me and I can't get to him. Or I just can't find them because I have no recollection of where I've been or where I've like gone. And I know in regards to areas from area, like regards and comparing area to another area, I think they're very different and you can tell where you are. But when I'm in that area and I think without a map, it's very easily to get turned around because a lot of the areas share very same aesthetics. Like the crystals is covered in crystals everywhere. And I found myself getting turned around a lot because there was just no map in the beginning. When you first enter area, there's just no map. There's literally, and maybe this is me personally, but I feel like you can go back and watch a lot of those VODs, but there's a good chunk of the early streams where I was literally running around in the dark lost. I think I spent 40 minutes of one stream just being lost because I couldn't find the map and I needed like a lamp or something to illuminate a dark area, and I didn't know that. I didn't have enough money. I didn't have a map. I didn't have a lamp, so I was just lost for like 40 years. And that was very frustrating. And it happened multiple times throughout my playthrough of this game. I just do not like the way the map system is handled. very much. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, that's how you get immersed in the game. Like the game developers want you to be immersed, want you to be like just get lost in this world. And I got actually lost. Like I was like genuinely lost, and I found that very frustrating. But I will say, the later on in the game, this like further on in the game, you get this. I found this becoming less and less of an issue, because you open up stack stations, like fast travel points, the map, once you already have a map for an area, that you have that map forever. And I found it later on in the game, I didn't find this to be an issue, because I already had most of the maps. I had a lot of the fast travel points, and I thought that was cool. But early on in the game, I found that very frustrating, and that's honestly probably what took me like 7 years to beat this game for the first time, is that I genuinely just was not vibing with the map. Because even update a map, you have to sit at a bench. So before you sit at a bench, you're still looking at a black void, and to even see your character on the map, you have to have a compass, so that takes up one of the little slots in the trinket areas. And like it feels like there's a bunch of extra steps to get something that you would have by default in any other Metroidvania game. And I get that's the point, but just because that's the point doesn't mean I have to vibe with it. Like personally, I find that very intrusive and messes up the flow of my gameplay. Personally, I just have to point that out, because that's probably my biggest issue with this game and my biggest complaint. Everything else is fine. Everything about the game, I'm either okay with to love, and that I had to get that out of the way, because that's 100% my biggest complaint. Anyone I've talked to about this game that loves this game will they've heard me rant about the map system for 20 minutes, because I just don't personally see why it was designed this way. And when I eventually review Silksong, I will talk about the same thing, because they use the same exact map system in Silksong. But I think I think there maybe I like it a little bit more, but I'm not that much. But I want to talk about Silksong, I'll talk about it, because spoiler alert, I think Silksong is like, well, the way I feel about Silksong is how everyone feels about the first Hollow Knight. I think Silksong is one of the greatest Metroidvanias I've ever played. I love it. I think it's an improvement on almost everything than Hollow Knight. And that's just how I feel. A lot of people when this game came out do not share that opinion. I think the general consensus is still that Hollow Knight is better than Silksong, but Silksong's pretty good. But in my opinion, I think Silksong absolutely triumphs over Hollow Knight. I think it's an amazing sequel, but I'll hold my thoughts on that for when I eventually make a Silksong video in vein to like this one. I don't think I used that word correctly. I wish I was. A lot of these, everyone's gonna watch these videos and be like, this guy has literally no knowledge of the English vocabulary. He constantly uses words incorrectly. He doesn't know sentence structure, and I apologize, because you're very true. I don't know any of that, and a script would probably help, but again, I'm not making a script, so that's just not my style. But I think I've talked about pretty much everything I wanted to about this game. At the end of the day, 100% recommend that everyone go out and buy it for yourself, despite my personal feelings towards it, because I don't know, do I want to score? I think I want to, at the end of the video, I think I want to give it a number score. I think that's going to be my thing. I think I want to do number scores. But yeah, at the end, despite everything I've said in this video, despite my personal grievances, I don't know, I apologize if I came off more negative in this review than I intended to, because I do like the game. I can't stress that enough. I think this is a great Metroidvania. I just don't like it as much as everyone else in the world appears to like it. And that's sad. I wish I did. I wish I saw what everyone else saw in this game. But yeah, again, I'll never say anything bad about Team Cherry, as there's like 3 people making these incredible games that are better than 85% of AAA games. But at the end of the day, yeah, go play it for yourself. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree with everything I said in the comments. I can guarantee that a lot of you probably disagree. I'm about to have like 45 essays in my comments from the 5 people that watched this video be telling me how wrong I am and how I'm a stupid idiot, which you're not. Incorrect. Like, I understand the hypocrisy of me saying as a kid I got lost, and as an adult I liked getting lost, and then my biggest complaint was that I was lost. Okay, I get that, but it was not my kind of lost, I don't know how to I don't know how to explain it properly, but that's just how I feel. And yes, so Hollow Knight, what kind of number score I think I want to give it an 8, because I mean most people give it a 10 out of 10, 9. But personally, I think I want to give it an 8, as there's a lot of stuff to do here. I think I think this game's only worth like fucking $20 or some shit, and it definitely a bang for your buck. Like, you get your money's worth and then some for $20. Like there's so much game here, and that's just like I think it was the default ending took me probably like 20 hours by itself, and then going back and doing the true ending, that's a lot more hours, bro. That's like 30 something to 40 hours. So you definitely get a lot of bang for your buck, and I will 100% push for everyone to go buy this game and play for themselves to experience it. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if you agree. But that's just me. And this video has been a long time in the making. I hope it lived up to everything I've been wanting to. I've done like 5 recording sessions. This is like the last of these recording sessions. I'll literally talk about one thing, stop the recording, pause for like 5 minutes to gather my thoughts, start the recording again, speak out of my ass for like 30 minutes, and then boom, bam, beam, bam, boom. Here we are, 5th recording session. Probably gotta, after I'm done like deleting all of the, like, just the parts where I just wasn't speaking, I probably get maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe, I don't know. I'll have to see, but I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Let me know if I did a good job. Let me know if I did a bad job. Let me know what I can improve upon, because I plan on doing the same for what other games have I completed on stream? Dark Souls, Another Crab's Treasure. There's a lot of games I completed on stream. Donkey Kong Bonanza, I didn't complete that on stream, but games I start and like I started on stream, I think I will talk about too, because I mean I also want to talk about Silksong. I didn't stream Silksong as I was knee deep in my college studies, so I didn't really have the time to dedicate streams to playing this game, but I did play it in my free time, beat it. Spoiler alert, as I mentioned earlier in the video, absolutely love it. I think it's better than Hollow Knight in every way possible. But yeah, this video's a long time making it. So if you guys enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, following, sharing this video, all that cool stuff. Yeah, that'll make you a cool guy. I think everyone here wants to be a cool guy, don't they? Yeah, be a cool guy. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.